You know, Stanley Escudero, former three-time ambassador for the United States, was elected to our Volusia County Republican Party chairman's position early this year. Stan. We are proud to have Stan as our chairman for, a lot of reasons. His leadership skills, his vast experience, but most of all, his great love of our country. For 33 years, he served as a U.S. diplomat and ambassador in some of the most important and dangerous regions of the world. For example, Stan went from here to India in 1984 to serve as political advisor to successive commander-in-chief at the Central Command, Marine General George Christ, and Army General Norman Schwarzkopf. There he helped coordinate the military effort which halted Iranian attacks against oil shipping in the Persian Gulf and destroyed some 1/3 of the Iranian Navy. His next assignment was political counselor in Egypt from 1990 to 92, where he helped orchestrate Egypt's diplomatic and military participation in the American side in the First Gulf War. In 2009, Stan and Jane returned to their home county, Volusia County, Florida, right here, after retirement from government service, and Stan became active in the Republican Party. After serving as a strategy committee chairman for the county party for almost a year, Stan was elected party chairman in May. Ladies and gentlemen, my honor, my pleasure, our Volusia County Republican Chairman, Mr. Stan Escudero.
Jason, thank you very much. I can't tell you how humbled I am and how honored I am to stand here tonight before the core of the Republican Party of Volusia County. You people here tonight are the ones who are going to make it possible to take back our county, take back our country, to restore America and enable our country to be reborn. I want you just to look around at yourselves for a moment. You see how many of you there are? Tonight, I was told as I came here that we have served a total of 555 meals in this room tonight. That's more than 100 more than we've ever done before in the Republican Party in Volusia County. And that tells me two things. One, the good people of Volusia County are stirred up. They've had enough of bad government in Washington. They've had enough of bad government in DeLand, and they are here to rise up to put things right. And that's what we're all about this evening. It tells me something else, too. It tells me that the chairman and the members of the Lincoln Day Dinner Committee worked like hell to make this a success. And it would be really evil of me to come up here and talk, and because I'm a Republican, I can't be evil, to come up here and talk and not recognize the chairman, Beth James, our vice chairman, Tony Wright, the ladies from the Atlantic Federated Republican Women, Carolyn Woods, Susan Knapp, and all the other members of the committee who made it possible for this to happen tonight. I'd like also to mention that we have the honor to be in the presence of a number of real dignitaries. And by real, I mean Republican dignitaries. We have among us tonight a number of elected officials. And I have to say that, well, I've seen half a dozen of them and know them. I don't know who all of you are tonight, but I know there are a lot of you. And rather than ask you all to come up and speak or something like that, knowing, as I do, being something of a politician myself, the proclivity of all of you to speak for a long time, and we are kind of pressed for time, let me ask every elected official in the room to stand and be recognized. All of you stand, please. All right. All right. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your hard work on behalf of cities, the county, the state, the country, the Republican Party, the American people. I'd like also to recognize three people whose service is absolutely unparalleled, whose work on behalf, once again, of the people, of the state, is just impossible to quantify. Please, those of you who have your programs, turn to page 11. Turn to page 11, and while I'm blabbering at you from up here, read through what these people have accomplished. And believe me, these little blurbs are just the tiniest fraction of what they've done. Evelyn Lynn is retiring this year after 8 years as our state senator, a real Republican champion in Tallahassee, a champion for this area. Before that, she served in the state legislature, and she's held so many important educational posts that there's hardly a child educated these days in the state of Florida who doesn't owe something to Evelyn Lynn. And now finally she thinks the time has come for her to enjoy a well-earned, well-deserved retirement. I say I'd like her to stay in Tallahassee a lot longer, and I think you'd all agree. But she's the best judge of what she needs. And so, Evelyn, thank you so much for everything you've done for all of us. We owe you a lot. Anything we in the party can do for you, you know. Just let us know. Evelyn Lynn, ladies and gentlemen. And then Dr. Frank and Peggy Farmer. Now, there are some of us who are old enough to remember when the Barracudas in New Smyrna Beach had a ferocious football team, and that was because they had one hell of a quarterback. And his name was Frank Farmer. But, you know, unlike a lot of high school and college athletes, he didn't sit back on his laurels. He went to Vietnam, and he served, and he won a Bronze Star. And he won medals for gallantry. And then he came back and he went to medical school. And then he joined the Air Force. And he served there with distinction, retiring with the rank of colonel in the medical corps for the Air Force. He went on to serve the state of Florida. He was the Surgeon General for the state of Florida. And all the time he was doing these wonderful things, his loving and supporting wife, Peggy, was helping to build the Republican Party in Volusia County. Fact is that Peggy held my position some years ago and probably did a much better job of it than I am. And the two of them together have been for many years, for decades, and remain among the most important, most influential figures in our party in this area. They are deserving of every applause, every plaudit, every honor we can grant to them. And thank you so much. Frank and Peggy, please stand. Now then, I know this will come as a surprise to you, but this is an election year. And we have some candidates here in this room. We have a lot of candidates here in this room. We have some good Republican candidates here in this room, and I want you all to remember that this year especially, any Republican is better than any Democrat. Again, would all the candidates please stand? And please accept our thanks for the hard work, the sacrifices in time and money, for everything you're all doing for us and everything you will do once you win. Thanks so much. Lastly, we're honored tonight by the presence of a number of officials from the Republican Party of Florida and Tallahassee, who've come down to be with us tonight to help us celebrate formally the beginning of the electoral season, which will take back the United States for those who really believe in the United States, and will take back the land from those who, kind of like Obama light, have been pushing us toward bankruptcy for the last 15 years. Ladies and gentlemen from the RPOF table, please stand. The RPOF. There are several of you over there. Stand up. Thank you so much. You know, my friends, there are moments in history from which everything else flows, pivotal moments that change everything that comes after, like the Constitutional Convention in the United States, or the Battle of Gettysburg, or the election of Ronald Reagan. And I'm here to tell you that we, all of us here tonight, are facing such a moment. This election will determine, maybe for all time, whether the United States will remain the free country which our founders had in mind when they created it, a nation in which government exists of, by, and for the people, or whether our country shall be a radically transformed, shattered socialist caricature of itself with a cowed, impoverished people subordinated to an authoritarian and intrusive government. I think all of us here tonight know which outcome we favor. And we know we're all prepared to work hard, do everything that we can possibly do to keep our country, the United States we know and love, and to prevent it from bowing under the curse of socialism. These are tough and dangerous times. Times like these call for a champion. And thank God we have a champion. We have someone who has stepped up to lead us back into the light. Thank God we have Mitt Romney, the next president of the United States.